Where are we?
We're inside the fat man's body. Anyway, vaccines protect us from illnesses by activating our immune response without the danger of actual infection, thereby training the body to fight off the real thing.
Don't care.
Some of the
Still
COVID
don't
vaccines
care.
work
I
by
don't
exposing
care.
the system to make antibodies against the virus,
Don't care.
mimicking what happens
What'd you
with
say?
COVID, except
I
that
just
you
wanna
don't
know
get
what you
sick
said.
with the vaccine.
What did you say?
The mRNA
I don't
vaccine
care.
actually use the genetic COVID virus to create a pretend version of the spike protein. When the real virus tries to attack your body, these pre-made
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and we have Family Guy. Yep, Family Guy coming through again to give us a PSA. In this case, it is about the poke. And my position, I really do want you people, like, please listen to me when I tell you this. I don't have any opinion of what you do with your body. If you feel like getting this was the best, the right decision for you, good. If you feel like maybe you don't want to, also fine. I'm not in a position to moralize to my viewers, to talk down to people who get it or who don't get it. It's none of my business. It's why I don't talk about whether I've gotten it or not. It's none of your business. That's my position here. Now, oftentimes that position is, how do I say, misrepresented as just because you don't want to yell at people who don't get it or moralize to them that somehow you're against it. That's actually not the case with me. I think, hey, I've never been a flu shot guy. This definitely has a different feel to it. But you don't see me talking about, hey, everyone, you need to go get the flu shot and you need to go do this and do that. I talk about meaningless Hollywood crap. Occasionally I have, a hard-hitting topic, or I'll cover something, important, but that's just not my channel. And so I would never co-opt the platform I built to then moralize to you what you should do with your bodies. It's, I'm pretty libertarian on most things. I want the government out of my life as much as is reasonably possible. And I think most people would agree with that. Whether or not they are closer to a Republican or closer to Democrat, I don't think any of us wants the government, injecting themselves into our lives. By the way, if you are new here or you've been watching my videos for a long time, please do consider subscribing today. There's a red subscribe button down below the video. YouTube is definitely unsubbing a lot of people, and it's really the only way you'll find my videos. So Family Guy released a PSA, and I've got to be honest with you, I've seen it. It's really not, it's really not that bad. It really just isn't. I think it doesn't take this moralistic position about, you're a bad person if you don't get it. That's the stuff that I really have a problem with. The people that are out there that say, well, I got it and therefore I'm better than you. That's just not a good way to convince people to get it. If your end goal is to get more people to do it, then you can't talk down to them and you can't try to bully them into doing it, because quite frankly, human nature in and of, if you understand regular people, you have to understand that when you tell them that they have to do something, if they're on the fence about it, they're not going to do it. That's just the way it works. I mean, that's just human nature. So ending up in this position where you're moralizing at them, I don't find it to be very effective. But yesterday and today, now people have been covering that. GameSpot put out, Seth MacFarlane has revealed a new Family Guy themed Coof PSA featuring Stewie and Brian encouraging people to get the poke. You can see the comments, of course, very divided here. People don't like it, lame. At least we still have South Park. My position on all of this is that the stupid thing, just like everything in our world, got politicized. Now people who, get it, maybe, feel compelled to get it because of how they vote, which is bizarre to me that people make health decisions like that, but it's real. You have people out there, I've said, that really do need to get it. The benefits vastly outweigh the risks, and they don't do it because they feel like they'd be betraying their political party. You have people that do get it, even though they probably, you know, the benefits may not outweigh the risks, and they do it because of some perceived political party affiliation. Like, please stop doing that. You know, please stop making decisions based on owning the other guy. You know, you've got to be thinking about yourself. I mean, you see here, you know, a lot of people, you know, one word propaganda. How much did they pay him for that? This is to encourage people to take the poke. You know, when you look at it, there are people, I watched the whole thing through because I was curious, you know, would it be, you know, looking down on people who don't get it or calling them idiots? It doesn't do any of that. Of course, the virus is Meg, which is perfect. And, you know, it's fine. It's not what I want to see from Family Guy. And ultimately, I think this will convince exactly 0 people to do it. It's like all of these people in Hollywood and in government are out here saying, hey, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to bully people. That definitely works. When that didn't work, now they tried moralizing. It started with you're killing grandma. Then it was like, you're an idiot if you don't do this. Then they tried to brand it like, well, you're just better than other people. Then it was, this is a path back to normality. And then when that didn't work out and concerts still required masks and normality never returned, all you did was galvanize people against it. It's like they don't have any regular people working in the government or with these agencies who understand how people think, who regular everyday people, the 45% of the United States population, right? It's so weird to me that they can't just talk to people like normal and say, look, we're going to be upfront with you about some risks. Maybe you feel like you don't need to take it, and that's okay. But here are some very strong reasons to do it, and we're going to make it as easy as possible. We're going to come to your house. We're going to come to your work. We're going to do whatever we want to, you know, to make it easy on you. Quite frankly, for a lot of people, taking time off work and going in to get something that may make you feel bad when you feel totally fine is like something that most people aren't going to do. And the whole doing this like greater good thing isn't going to convince a construction worker whose boss is now telling him that he has to get this thing because Joe Biden told him to. They're going about this all wrong. This particular PSA is fine. You know, it kind of reduces it down to the ridiculous. But at the same point, it does have some hilarious jabs at Gal Gadot singing Imagine. Peter gets a Band-Aid at the end. That's a Bart Simpson Band-Aid. They didn't put it into the regular show. It's just this extra thing that exists. I don't necessarily have a problem with this. I don't think it's going to convince anybody. I think that it's more virtue signaling than anything. But you have this skeptics outraged by Family Guy PSA. I don't know. I mean, are they outraged, for example? Family Guy has entered the COOF discourse with a PSA explaining how the jab works in an effort to dispel the fears of people skeptical. However, some skeptics are not impressed by the cartoon's attempt to sway people into getting it. At present, 180 million Americans now are fully poked. However, hesitancy and disinformation is still a problem along some demographics. Well, it's probably because you speak to people like they're idiots or you don't admit when you're wrong. The whole thing where you said, well, masks will do this. Well, actually, you need a mask. Well, no, actually, you don't need a mask. And never going back and like really owning that and saying like, shoot, you know, we were trying to figure it out. We thought, hey, this is the best thing until we can collect more data. They don't do that. They feel like, you know, I can't admit that we were wrong about something because it'll ruin our credibility. But they never really realize that we know you were wrong about something. And if you don't admit it, then we're not going to believe you the next time. You have now this sketch was shown on Jimmy Kimmel Live on Monday. Of course it was. As creator Seth MacFarlane shared his educational PSA encouraging people to get the poke. The 3-minute video made in partnership with the Ad Council, meaning they probably got paid. Now, I'm not going to go through exactly what's in the PSA because I'm not a doctor. The cartoon baby ads, you know, talks about side effects. We're proud to work. So, however, some people are outraged. You've gone against everything you've ever done and sold out to conform the government narrative. That's not Family Guy. How very disappointing, reads one response. Another person added, is it me or has Stewie gotten dumber and dumber as the show's gone on? He used to be the smartest one in the house full of idiots, but now he's dumber than the other ones combined. Another post reads, didn't they outlaw Joe Camel for this kind of stuff? You know, using cartoons to push propaganda on people? You see, speaking at Jimmy Kimmel Live, McFarlane explained that he made the PSA as a response to disinformation spread on Fox News. I looked around and saw everybody else on Fox Corp doing their part to get good science out there and be responsible, he said. Looking down the barrel of that kind of peer pressure, I said, well, gosh, we got to do something. I mean, again, I don't care. This is an obvious virtue signal, and it's not going to convince anyone to go get the poke. It's just another, Hollywood thing getting out there and trying to insert itself into, the modern health conversation, which apparently is a thing nowadays. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.